Good afternoon, podcast world. It's podcast time again. We are gathering up here the weekend before Memorial Day, and we thought we'd bring you some pre-Memorial Day jams. And we're going to try to get you all America'd up before this Memorial Day weekend. Now, you're not going to listen to this till after it was already passed, so we hope everybody was safe while listening to these, America jams.
You might upload. Well, you probably won't, will you?
I can. Yeah, we'll see.
They might hear it on Monday.
We'll see how crazy my Memorial Day weekend gets. Anyway, we hope everybody had a good week and out there just killing it here in America. Land of the free, home of the brave. We're going to let this play out here a minute because I spent a lot of time putting this together. So anyway, what's been going on this week, guys?
Work, and more work.
I understand that fully.
I played some Top Golf this week.
Come on,
How'd
tell me
you like that?
How'd that go?
Well, I can tell y'all about that. Man. Y'all want to talk about it right now?
Yeah.
Tough.
We're just going to let this roll. So we can talk a
You
little bit
didn't
about...
fall off the third level, did
No,
you?
we were on the third level. Great country like America, you can play Top Golf on the third floor.
That's right.
That's right.
It's awesome.
And they'll bring you beer.
We didn't have any beers, but it was also like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so, on a Monday.
And?
What were you trying to say?
But it was a blast.
It was after 12 is what he's saying.
I had never played before. It was a lot of fun.
It is a good time.
I am a terrible golfer, and I'm even worse at Top Golf, but I don't feel like such an idiot whenever I'm playing a legit game, not a
I'm awful at golf also, but I
gentleman's
feel like
game.
I'm slightly better at Top Golf because all you really got to do is try and hit it as hard as you can.
There's
and it's just
humongous
gonna go.
nets on each side of it. You'd be like, this is going to go right where I want it to
Well,
go.
it's bowling with a golf club.
Yeah, with the bumpers up. Yeah.
I
Yes.
kind of thought it was like bowling, darts, and golf all combined.
Yes,
It's
like
kinda-
lawn darts.
Yeah.
It is all of those things.
But there were some guys
And they
right
have beer
next
and
to
chicken.
us, and I'm pretty sure that they were practicing baseball.
oh,
Were they
yes.
throwing
I've
it
seen
up and hitting it?
No, they were just they weren't even trying to hit a golf ball like you would normally hit a golf ball. They were like swinging at this thing like it was being thrown at them at 100 mile an hour.
Well,
That's kinda
my
what I look
nephew
like
does
over there.
that.
It was very scary.
My nephew
That's
does
how the
that.
guy fell off, isn't it?
But he can bounce it off the back net at 400 yards.
No,
you
well,
know?
I don't know how many times these guys banked it off of like the little guard that's right in front of the tee.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it shot up, and it was a little scary.
Yeesh.
But anyway,
Yeah.
Did y'all...
that's what I did that Monday.
did you take turns shooting for the guy that was out there picking up balls?
Well,
Okay, I'll give
Oh,
you-
that's what I
I'll
do.
give you $10 for
they
the...
said that you're not supposed to do that,
Well,
Kyle.
of course you're not supposed to.
So
That's what we all do whenever he drives by in that little thing. We're
And
all
he
like,
knows
hit
it.
him.
He knows it.
You know
too.
you're aiming for the red circle, but
well, they
there's the
told us-
guy
they
out
told
there.
us not to do that. So you
Yeah.
know.
They told the guy not to fall off that fell
Tell
off
me
too.
a lot of things. Yeah.
Said, hey, you're a grown man. Don't fall off of this. And guess what?
I'm surprised not
Y'all did
more
see the
people-
video of that guy falling
I
off
did.
there, right?
I
I
have
did.
not seen that video. It must have been on Facebook.
It was, I don't
You
know.
land in the net.
Yeah. Yeah. Luckily, they have a safeguard for that. But yes, there was one waterhead that managed to fall off the top of the balcony.
Jeez.
I'm surprised there's not way more.
Oh yeah, no, there should be there should be hundreds of them. We had a birthday party for a friend up there one time, and surprisingly we were in fairly good shape, but there were people all around us that were so sloshed they couldn't even get their shoes back on.
Oh, I bet.
And I said, how do people not fall out of this thing every day?
And that net in front of you is not that
No, it's
deep.
only like
Yeah, it's a couple of foot.
And it's not super thick, so
yeah,
if old 300-pound KG
large-
goes to taking a swing and a dive,
large
just
feller
there to
might
make-
go through.
it's
it.
like old Home Alone where you just start falling floor to floor through the nets.
that just depends on how much solar photo damage there is to that net. you
Little
know?
UV damage.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it doesn't matter when you're 300 pounds. It doesn't matter how much damage there is to the net. Everything I've ever put my feet on says 250-pound rating.
Did you eat over there?
No.
Dude, they've got a pretty good little restaurant there.
No, there was a Micocina across the street.
Come on.
That's where we were
Yeah.
at. Yeah.
Tortillas.
Yeah, it's hard to
for
beat
muchacho
that.
con barba grande.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
We have lengthened Chase's nickname, by the way,
Yeah.
to Muchacho con Barba Grande.
Well, we talked about that last week, didn't we?
I don't know.
I think it was off the air.
It was off the air when we discussed that.
So a friend of ours ordered some Mexican food for us the other day, and he just happens to be Hispanic, and he habla español very well. And when he placed this order for us, he ordered in Spanish, and whenever I got there to pick the order up, he had everything all nice and neat in multiple bags for each person, and everybody's had their name on it. Mine, however, did not have a name, but said, for muchacha con barba grande.
Man with the big beard.
Yes. No,
That's funny.
And he just said, "Thank you, sir. That's me."
I've got kind of a funny story / theory about that. You know the Primo's restaurant over in Decatur?
Yes.
The little taco shop?
yes.
Shout out Primos. If you
So-
want to sponsor this show, please send some street tacos this
Send
way.
some tacos.
Come on.
And we will give you a shout out with our mouths stuffed full.
Yes.
It'll be
Right
disgusting.
there.
You'll love it.
We'll
I like
do this
the
podcast
tostadas.
in your shop.
But my mom, she is a short white lady, but she loves to go to Primo's. And whenever she goes there, she always orders the same thing. Well, whenever she goes by herself, and just this blonde white girl, it's more expensive than whenever she brings her Mexican friend that she works with.
Really?
Yes.
That's
if you
so
if
funny.
you bring a Hispanic or you know somebody that can order in Spanish there, the food seems to be at a discounted rate.
Ah, of course.
Yeah.
How much?
So-
Now, are we talking like
I'm thinking it's
Couple-
noticeable
like
enough for
nothing
her
set-
to notice it. Like, I order this all the time. Why is it cheaper today?
Mm.
And it just always happens to be when she goes there with her friend.
that's
So
interesting?
I'm thinking around
No, that's not interesting. That is.
25-30%.
So Kyle's having a problem with the soundboard over here, and we're trying.
That's racist! That's racist!
We're just dragging this thing out, trying to wait for this thing to come up.
Well, I'll say it then. There's your white privilege in action.
There he goes.
Found it. Found
So maybe I'll conduct a little test. I work with a Hispanic guy, and I want to call up there and just
You
talk
need a,
like
you need
the
a
biggest
GoPro.
the biggest honky redneck, and just let me get some of them there cow tacos.
Give me some of
yeah.
them tacos.
Give me some tacos.
A whole mess of tacos.
And then the next day, I want to have him call in Spanish and order the same thing and see what the price difference is.
And video. Put them on speakerphone and video the whole thing.
Okay. Maybe we can
Call
make a
call them back to back.
little deal about it.
Yeah, call
See,
from.
I feel like back to back they might catch on, but the next
Well, you
day,
call from like your cell phone, and he call from his cell phone, where they don't. I don't know if Primos rocks a caller ID in 2017,
I
but
doubt it. highly doubt it.
dude, hey, we bought my kids. We were or my wife was at CVS yesterday, and they had a little toy phone, like old school phone, that you have to like actually hang up, and
Oh, yeah.
could not figure out how to use it. Just and they can run an iPhone better than I can, but you're just sitting there. Hello,
what is
hello.
this big
They're just
thing
trying
attached
to.
to
They're
the
trying to
phone?
swipe on the little head. Hello, where's my videos? Couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, you should get them a rotary phone,
And then
man.
that's basically what it is. It's a little rotary phone, but the rotary doesn't spin. It's just got little buttons in it. And then my 1-year-old finally figured it out, and she walked around for 2.5 hours with it up to her head, just dragging this phone behind her because it has a cord on it.
That's how teenage girls used to
just,
do.
Yeah.
just
In the
twirling it
80s.
around their finger.
Yeah.
Just standing there, twirling it, walking around.
Oh, yeah. When I was a kid, I remember they would sell these long cords
Super
at the
long
store.
cords.
Yes.
Yes.
My dad refused to get a wireless phone in the house. And so when
Y'all
I
had
was
a 3-foot cord, didn't
there
you?
were 2 phones in the house. One of them sat right next to my mom's chair in the living room, and it had no cord. It was just enough cord to get to the wall. And then the other one sat right next to my parents' bed in their bedroom, and it was off limits to everybody anytime. It was only for if anybody called after 9 p.m., my dad could be the first one to the phone. That was the only reason it was even in there.
That was the cool thing back in the day, to have a phone in your room.
Oh, dude,
Like, whoa.
when I was 14, I spent all of my birthday money. It was like $115 on a
To buy a
cordless phone.
Wow.
And I hooked her up, and I rocked it all night, dude. I cell
I
phone.
called everybody.
Yeah, I called everybody I knew.
I hadn't
You
talked to
said
him in
something
3
that
years.
was so funny, though. You said that after 9 p.m. Because at my house, it was the same way.
9 p.m.
Dude,
that's
9 p.m.,
if a
yeah.
phone rang after 9 o'clock,
Somebody's getting
and it was always for me if it was after
You
9.
bet. Yeah,
and then
nobody-
it was, you need to tell your friends calling so late. I'm like, it's 9 o'clock. I got 3 hours left, you know?
Say, Dad,
funny.
it's cool. She's in California. It's only 6 there.
It's my friend in Japan.
She just finished dinner.
It finally broke them down enough. They got me my own phone line, and so I have my own phone. But I would still get in
9
trouble.
p.m.
I would still get in trouble if they heard it ring. So I ended up getting one of those clear phones that would like flash.
See, I was about to bring those up.
Yes.
You remember the clear case? You could see all the
Yes.
internals.
Yes,
of the
I
phone.
had one of those, and so I
Yeah.
kept it on silent, but it would flash
Ah, there
when
you
it
go.
would
Gotcha.
ring,
Yep.
and that's how I got away with talking after 9.
That's awesome.
So
I remember those. Do you remember? Nobody talks on the phone like that. I used to lay in my bed and talk on the phone, dude, for hours.
well, we also used to have a stack of girls on tap that we wanted to talk to.
Holla.
You know, don't have
That 2 hours wasn't the same girl. It's over and over again.
It's like
it.
flipping through the yellow pages. All right, on to the next
Yeah,
one.
that's it. Yeah,
Just cover your eyes and slide your finger down the page.
I didn't talk to my.
Proverbial little black book.
All
Yeah.
right, Bertha Grimstone. Let's call you up. Farmers Insurance.
I didn't talk to my buddies. I didn't want to talk to them. So,
No, it was. Hey, you want to come over and chase some girls to add to our phone list?
and what's so funny now is I don't want to talk on the
I
phone
don't either.
at
I
all
don't
anymore.
No.
It nauseates me when people call. And at work, I'm on the phone all day. But if you call me, there's a good chance I'm gonna swipe you smooth out of there. I have no intentions of picking up the phone.
Yeah, I like all my customers that just email me or text me
And if you're not saved in my phone, you don't have a prayer.
of it being
Yeah,
answered.
right.
No,
That is true.
no.
The warranty on your car is about to expire.
Cassie
Yeah,
gets
how many
mad at
warranties
that.
can they try to sell me for a truck I sold 5 years ago?
Congratulations,
Apparently
you
12.
just won a cruise vacation.
Yeah, the one with the shit. Yeah, it's got the shit.
Lyle
And you can
grins.
hear like the seagulls flying in the background.
My parents just disconnected their landline like 6 months ago, and the only people that ever called them on this landline were salespeople for multiple years.
Oh,
They
yeah.
kept it just so that they had the satisfaction of hanging up on a telemarketer.
So I heard a little brief story about that kind of the other day. Was that apparently there was some kind of a power blackout,
Really?
and most homes nowadays, like a good percentage of them, don't have a landline. So nobody could like call each other because like the towers and stuff were all down,
Right.
you know, and nobody could call 911. Nobody could call the cops. Nobody could do anything.
I got a solution for them right here.
Yeah, the old-
Send it in. That's funny. That's what phone sounded like when Gary was a kid.
You know, that's funny you mentioned that.
I've got a little Morse code story. I won't tell it right now, but it actually ties in real well with this day.
Okay.
Well,
It's,
sounds like it'd be a good time to tell.
Yeah, I was gonna
Hit
say,
it. Well,
I
we're
don't
gonna-
know that we have anything else.
We're gonna do old news.
I do. Hold on. I do have some funny. I was talking to some people at work about the podcast. Yes, we are going to do old news.
Okay.
But
He's like, yeah, your story and old news, but first,
So,
let me get to my stuff.
yeah, let me get to
Who's the commander?
Come on. You know that's not fair. But I've been trying to pitch the podcast at work, and I got my boss involved, and so every time we go have a meeting somewhere, he's like, "Hey, tell them about your podcast." And I'm like, it's just the most awkward time. I'm like, "Yeah, hey, we do a podcast. We got 15 episodes up or so." And
Kyle,
we
come,
talk
come
about
stand up in
nothing
front of the
that you'd be
class.
that's what I
interested in?
said. I said every time he brings that up, the very first question is, "Well, what's it about?"
That's
and
what everyone
I
asks
don't
me
know
too.
what to do. Just like, it's like, well, what do you like out of your podcast? You like to, you like to learn something about the space-time continuum? And they're like, well, yeah, I guess so. And I was like, well, then you don't want to listen to our podcast. You're not going to get any of that.
So a buddy of mine who I used to work with, he texted me. I was telling him about it. And he texted me the other day, and he said, "What was the name of your podcast? I want to listen to it." Well, it just so happened that and I didn't expect him to listen to much of it anyway.
Yeah.
But he just so happened to pull up the episode and listen to the 15 minutes of an episode where I brought up something about him.
Oh, no, he knew.
And it came in the form of, it was whenever you were talking about all the cavemen that don't wash their hands.
Yeah.
Were you like, I'm gonna tell this story, but this guy will never hear it?
And I was
that?
I was like, I never expect him to listen to it, but I was nice, and I said, so I used to work with a guy that said that his junk was cleaner than anything in that bathroom.
He knew it was him.
and he goes, so I did listen to enough of it to hear you talking about me.
Have you seen my wiener?
So I haven't impacted many people, but the one person that did decide to
The
listen
one
to
that's
it,
got the squeaky clean junk, he listens.
He's now left to you a bad
I feel like
review.
that's our audience. I feel like
he said, I listened long enough to hear you talk about me. I said, well, it wasn't
that's
bad.
amazing. Well, let's get to some old news here on this Memorial Day weekend. I'm going to beep you in here.
So there is very little that I want to talk about on here, but this one really caught my eye.
Okay.
Ducks seeking home.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
did they post this ad themselves?
Dozens of ducks are looking for a new home after being removed from a home in Wise County last week. The Humane Society of North Texas removed 89 adult ducks, 55 ducklings,
What?
in addition to a piglet, 5 rabbits, 2 kittens, and 10 guineas
Out of a
Out of a
800
house.
square foot duplex.
out of a house.
A house.
Yes. Yes.
From inside the house?
Yes.
Gross.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine the smell that come roaring out of that place. Good.
I have an
grief.
idea.
They were
Cut them
over.
loose. Maybe somebody have a good duck season one night.
So,
I don't know if those little yellow ones are worth a whole lot.
so I guess whoever owned it moved.
And just left.
And just left him.
Yep.
Wow.
Well, I would too. Could you imagine trying to transport all that? That's like you'd have to build an ark.
Said that.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate that.
So I don't know. Okay, yes. So she just pretty much ditched them. And some friend of hers called the Humane Society and said we got to get rid of them. Those interested in adopting can call Kim Meek.
Kim Meek, she's got all the ducks and the pigs and the guineas and
Yep, she's with the Humane Society. So if you
Okay.
need some ducks or rabbits or guineas or a piglet or a kitten, just 2 of those 2.
all right.
Yeah. Anyway, I just thought that was kind of crazy.
Have you a grand feast?
Whoa. Humane Society, you say? Well, I guess I need to set this smoker on about 350 is what it sounds like to me. That's awesome.
I'll have 4 hens. And
Did you say piglet somewhere in there? Because I will for sure take the piglet.
So I had here's one preliminary tax values. Y'all
Oh,
get-
that's been raising a big
you,
stink.
Yeah, you
yeah.
all get your
Yeah.
taxes. Yeah. Well, apparently it made the messenger.
Mine went up 20 grand. My appraisal value.
Wise County Appraisal District released preliminary tax values this week, which is not true because we've gotten those things like
it was
a
a month
month and
ago,
a half
yeah.
ago.
they're not supposed to go up more than 10% per year, per cycle.
And that's still crazy because the average person only gets a 3% raise every year.
Well, it says, as expected, real estate values increased across the board in some entities by double digits. Mineral business and industrial values are still decreasing across the county. So how's that
Absolutely,
make
they are.
sense?
I don't know.
Anyway,
We had this discussion at work the other day, and how can you raise someone's taxes 20%, 10% if the standard cost of living wage
Hasn't changed.
only goes up 3% a year. So at max, you should be able
Well,
to raise taxes 3%.
I used to know
Don't care
that
how
I used
nice
to
the
work with
softball
this
fields
guy that had a his house was probably like a $40,000 frame house, and
know all
there
about
was
that.
no problem about taxes until they built a really nice neighborhood. You couldn't drive to the neighborhood; it was like on the back side of his property, but it was right there.
Yeah.
Because the proximity, they gave him like a $200,000 valuation.
Good grief.
Yeah.
So there's a reason I live in a $40,000 house. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't understand it. So I'm doing everything I can do to decrease my property value. Currently installing an above ground pool, and
That'll drive it down.
talking about closing in my garage. So I'm
Currently-
driving it straight into the dirt.
Drilling holes in my roof.
I know where you can get some trucks to
I know
put
where
in
you
your
get some
yard.
ducks to put in there.
Yeah.
Put me up a chain link fence.
Oh,
right
you
in the
want to
front
buy
yard
this?
here.
Yeah, these 89 ducks in their pond come with them. No, we've been in the process of digging an 18-foot diameter, 2-foot deep hole in my backyard.
How's that coming?
Put that out there for everybody to
We're
hear.
just about done. Now, yeah, if anybody's got a shovel,
You about done?
willing to give a hand.
I'll come over if you're
Come-
about done.
Yeah. You need a hand now that you're about done? Appreciate that. Oh, I do have something really funny. I'll forget about it if I don't share it. But in our crap for sale on Facebook section of this show, we're going to drift into that if nobody has any objections.
Get it?
So this one really made me laugh, and I'm going to read it word for word, except for the cuss words. But it has so the opening lines. It's from Journey Autos, JOURNEE, Journey Autos,
So they spelled it wrong.
and the
Is that Ashley?
yes.
Actually.
Yeah, your salesman is Shathid. So first line says, please, and it's all drug out like teenage girls do. Please read carefully so there's no misunderstanding, which is a fantastic way to get my attention if you want to sell me something.
Sure.
It says, 2002 Oldsmobile Alero located at Journey with 2 E's Autos. Nothing special or pretty about this car. Once again, top-notch advertising. 200,000 miles. And he's got 3 pictures of it here. It's a little gold Oldsmobile. It says in the description, rust on the side. I even zoomed in on the rust so you can see it. This car runs and drives. The air blows cold, and it has a CD player. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
Rust and a CD player.
Don't bring your booty down here saying it looks different in the pics. If you didn't know it had that much rust, I'm telling you right now, this thing's rusty. He said, this car's $900. You're getting $900 worth of car. Don't ask me about the check engine light or this light or that light. It's $900. There's going to be some lights on. It says as is. Don't bring this thing back for nothing. It has 200,000 plus miles, and you're dang right you're going to find something wrong with it. But as for now, it cranks, steers, and drives. Blows cold. It says it blows cold ass air. It says, and it won't leave your pockets bare. This will get you from A to B. Just don't try to make it to C. Said this car will last you at least all of spring 2017.
Well, considering it's over, it's gonna get you home, and that's it.
That's great.
I have a caption for that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't expect too much, and you won't be disappointed.
There you go.
Don't
That
come down
sounds
here
like a
saying
good
it looks
wise man
different.
quote.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
But that's probably my favorite one ever.
That's pretty good. I don't know, man.
It's
The
$900.
hamster ball was pretty good.
Hamster ball's good. It's been kind of a weak week on crap for sale on Facebook. There's been a bunch of cars on there, dude. I guess everybody got their income tax back and they're selling off old beaters.
Ditch the old ones.
I'm the worst Facebooker ever.
Are you?
I haven't been on there in like a week. So I got on there the other day, and there was like 15 notifications.
Were they all me?
They were all from you. You have been tagged with the wise man once
Hey,
said, and
when you dive into Facebook friendship with Kyle, it's a commitment I expect you to stand on.
Well, I don't know what it really helps you, but
No, it doesn't. I just want you to have first time access to it. If
Well,
you need
you
it.
know, the thing that changed about Facebook a while back is it's like Facebook for ADD because you can't find anything that you just saw. I mean,
No.
you can scroll down and think, I'm going to come back to that. And it's not there when you go back up.
oh really?
You have to
Yes.
remember who posted it so you can go dig
Yeah,
in there.
you actually have to. That's the thing you have to remember is who posted it because it's not linear like it used to be. I used to be able to scroll back for weeks.
Yeah.
You know how to fix that, right? You get you one of them fidget spinners. It's good for ADD.
If you put your romper on and get you a fidget
Yeah,
spinner.
I have a fidget spinner. It's a 6-inch barrel 357
There you
Magnum. That's
go.
what I got.
I've got a pair of FR coveralls I'm fixing to cut the legs and arms out of. I'm gonna wear it to work tomorrow and see what happens.
So
That'd be great.
let's give our buddy Caleb Elledge a shout out.
Yo,
because
Caleb.
I
Yo.
heard through the grapevine that he was on a guy's trip
Yeah.
and somehow I don't know if he lost a bet or made a bet or what, but he's supposedly sporting a romper during this trip.
Oh,
right.
Yeah, can I get the soundbite?
You can.
There it is.
I think that's just modus operandi
All right,
for
shout
Mr.
out to Caleb Elledge. You'll probably find pictures all
Yeah.
over Snapchat,
Yeah,
right?
Caleb, we're calling you out. Pictures or it didn't happen, dude. Sorry, bud. Yeah.
What's great is I'm pretty sure they're coming back on Monday. So if you can get this thing up, they can listen to it on the way back.
Oh, good. I'll have it up by Sunday.
Still have them on, right?
Yep, I'll have it up and live.
Yeah, because they're on a pretty good trip. So
That's funny.
That's all Ty called me. I'm just going to give him a little live.
Go ahead. Answer.
No, he's getting a little sneak peek.
Oh, hey, Ty.
we're live, huh?
We're live. We got a call in.
Can we
Yeah,
I
get?
was going to
just
say,
hung
put
up
him on
on him.
speakerphone.
Oh, okay. I was about to say get some speakerphone going. I thought I was going to have to do that if I was going to miss tomorrow. I was going to call in. So,
We need to rig something up where people can call in and talk to us.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that, though. Any of y'all know how to do that? We can do it through
I
Skype.
think the problem would be getting them to call in last Friday.
Call in while we're actually recording the show.
It's like some Back to the Future stuff. We might disrupt the space-time continuum.
That's right.
Call us from a parallel universe somewhere. So speaking of rompers, I had another little note here that I read an article on Facebook from some super liberal hipster magazine. And I can't remember what magazine it was, but
Something to do with Denton.
Denton Times. They don't have guns.
Well, they just come at you like this. Then.
Oh no, the vegetarians are gonna get me.
So I watched a video from whatever magazine this was. They posted a video that they recommend that you not announce your baby's gender until they are 35 years old.
How does that work? Do they not figure that out pretty quick?
Nope. No, you can't proclaim. If your kid comes out, you can't say, "Oh, it's a boy," or "Hey, it's a girl,"
Oh, because
it causes gender confusion in the kid.
No, it pretty much solidifies what
What's
they already
there.
know.
There's really only
We're
two choices.
Affirming.
And why 35?
Because you don't have the emotional maturity to make that decision for yourself until you're 35.
Is that right?
You don't
according
have to
this.
make that decision at all. It's just granted to you at
Yeah, if
birth.
you just walk naked in front of a mirror, you'll figure it out.
But
So-
you can,
Oh.
but you can,
Boy.
you can drive at 16. You can buy tobacco at 18. You can drink at 21. You can be in the military at 18, but you don't need to know if you're a boy or a girl
That's right.
Till you're 35.
till you're 35.
According to this magazine.
So how do you fill out all your paperwork? Do they gonna have to quit asking you those questions?
Just drop a question mark, I'm guessing. I don't really know. Say, I'm only 20. I don't know.
You're just leaving that one blank.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know the answer.
They never told me.
I didn't dive super deep into this. I did watch the entire video. It was like 2.5 minutes.
You know, I wonder if that's
and it had a
gonna
little
start-
boy in a princess dress dancing around and a little girl playing with Tonka truck, and I was like, well, that's
fine. Play with the Tonka
that's
truck.
what I said. I said that has nothing to do with gender identity.
You can be a girl that plays. They're called tomboys.
Yeah, and you can be a little boy that wears a dress.
That's,
and
that's
they're
a
just,
Sally girl.
They're called.
Oh, jeez.
I don't care what you play with.
I got a future prediction. You know how like there's always like these big movements that are like real big in the news
I
for
had
like
a big movement when I got home from work.
for like a couple of
Good grief,
weeks.
Chicken E. Get
And
it
then
together.
Nobody talks about it anymore. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Just like it's the big thing, and then nobody cares
They're like
anymore.
news fads.
I think here's going to be one whenever they start putting transgender as an option on paperwork to fill out. That's going to be on the news, and it's going to be a big deal for like a week or
We're
two.
going to have a parade, and all 300
because
transgender people are going to show
You can't
up.
say that because then you're discriminating, right? You're singling them out, right?
I don't know.
Because
You
I
gotta
feel
pick a
singled out
bubble.
when I have to. We're going to move
I mean,
past that.
I'm great with singling them out. I mean that they need to get it. You are a boy or you are a girl. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying.
It's not that hard to figure
You
out.
can't handle the truth.
That's right. So glad we brought that in.
Yeah, that's a great. I don't know how we missed it for so long. I can think of 100 uses we could have used it for.
Oh
already.
yeah, all the time. But that goes really well with Memorial Day. So.
Yeah,
Great.
and we're about halfway through this, so let's get into some Memorial Day talk.
Okay.
I feel like we have.
So
So before we do that,
what do we got?
we need to talk about Metallica.
Okay, that goes along with my Morse code story.
Oh, okay. Well, let's
It's all going to tie in together.
let's roll it.
New boot goofing.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
So we're gonna drop just a little bit
That was
of this.
totally the wrong one, but that works for me.
Metallica new boot goofs.
New
You know.
boot goofing.
Yeah, James Hetfield, he likes a new boot goof.
Yeah.
But
Lars Ulrich.
so probably
Lies.
one of the most popular Metallica songs ever. And kind of goes along with our Memorial Day. A little bit of war.
has suffered massive and
So-
irreparable damage.
For everybody
Never know what has
that
happened to him.
doesn't know much about
Had I
Metallica,
not been sure of this,
the
I would
video
not have
and the
permitted
song Warren went along with a book and a movie. So it was an idea that they had for a song, and the way they put it was a living consciousness. So
Bro.
yeah, it gets deep.
Balls
so
deep.
so they get so they get together. They get together when they're working on this song, and they're kind of explaining their idea to their manager, and he's like, okay, so there was this book from the 30s called Johnny Got His Gun. Well, then they turned around and they made a movie about this, also called Johnny Got His Gun. They released this movie in the 70s, but it was a big anti-war.
It's creepy listening to it in the beginning of that song.
If you're listening to this, go back and watch the official one video. All of that footage is from the 1971 movie Johnny Got His Gun, which was based on a book written in the 30s. But what happened, and you see it in the video, he gets blown up in the war. Then he basically becomes a science experiment.
Oh, good.
So he's got no arms, no legs, no face. He can't hear, he can't see, and he can't move from his neck down.
Is his name Lucky?
His name is Johnny.
Oh. Well, that makes more sense.
Actually, I don't even know if his name's Johnny, but
Well, now I can't follow this movie at all.
But so he can't speak. I mean, he has no face. So like in the video, they've got like this thing over his face, and there's like always this curtain, and it's just theatrics, but it's supposed to. He's basically a brain. Mm-hmm. That's all he is, and
Yep.
and so during the movie, he's narrating the movie, but it's just his thoughts.
What?
It's just his thoughts. So he can't communicate with anyone. And you hear a lot of that in that one video, and it's his narration of the movie.
I thought it was those doctors and stuff talking
Well,
to
the
him.
doctors are talking too.
Okay.
But he can't hear the doctors.
Gotcha.
He can't hear the doctors. He can't see the doctors. He can't taste, smell,
He doesn't really know what's going on.
anything.
He's just-
Nothing. So he remembers that his dad taught him Morse code when he was growing up. So he's, they're running all these experiments on him, and it's just creepy stuff.
Yeah.
So he remembers Morse code. Well, he can still move from like the neck up, so he can like move his head a little bit.
Yeah.
So he starts like tapping on his pillow, and he's tapping out Morse code. And so if you watch the video, they're saying he just says over and over, "Kill me, kill me," over and over, "Kill me," because he figures out like that he is alive.
Yeah.
Like he finally says, "I must be alive." I have to be. But can you imagine? Like it's super dark and
I was
twisted.
fixing to say,
It
we
is
really brought this down from
so dark and twisted.
my car ad here.
But and then at the end of the movie, like they're saying, we need to honor his wishes. We need to kill him, and this nurse is like helping him, and she tries to kill him, and they catch her trying to kill him, and they're like, nope, and they roll him out, and it just shows them like the end of the movie. He's like rolling off into another room, like they're just gonna keep him alive. It's just
Well, folks, thanks
so-
for joining us. I appreciate you coming out.
so messed
That's
up.
so weird.
It is.
So
But-
since we got you all excited about movies, this guy marched into the room this afternoon with the excitement of a 9-year-old girl that
Yes.
just got her first Power Wheels.
Okay, we're gonna bring it up now.
And
Happy things, happy thoughts.
And he says, "You guys will never believe what just happened." And we said, "You're exactly right." And so I'm going to let him tell what happened, but he had this DVD case in his hand.
Yes,
And so,
and I have to play this song because this song was from that movie.
okay.
Whoa, that's loud. Hang on.
It's just poor 80s sound quality.
Oh, it's so good. So
What kind of
whenever I was-
80s bootleg movies
It
just
is-
bringing
it
in
is
here?
so bootleg. This is it.
Don't tell me lies, tell me because they're untrue. It all comes back to you.
So I'll paint this picture for y'all. They're listening to that song in a nightclub,
You bet they are.
and they're riding their bicycles around the nightclub doing tricks.
Because
Oh,
that's
yeah.
where all the cool people
Yes.
hang out. Not in the nightclub, but outside on the bikes.
Inside.
tricks.
They're inside. They're
Oh,
on the
they're-
dance floor with the ball, with the disco ball rocking in that song, and they're riding their bikes around doing tricks
Oh,
Yes.
inside the club.
Okay, now
Anyway,
that's kinda cool.
so when we were growing up, we were all into skateboards and BMX bikes and all that kind
Sure.
of stuff. And
Because you didn't have Xboxes yet.
that's it.
That's it.
We actually had to do
Use your
regular
imagination.
kid things. Yeah.
Physical activity. Yeah.
Yeah, because we knew that we were boys. We didn't have gender issues.
Yeah,
and we
well,
knew
I'm
what
not
we were supposed to
35
be
yet, so
doing.
I'm still on the fence.
But this we
I'm
were
non-binary, gender
this
fluid. I've
movie
made
was
that pretty
called
clear.
Rad. And I hope there's people out there going, "Oh, I remember that movie. It was so cool." It's probably not as good as what I remember, and
Probably.
I'm gonna be let down this weekend whenever I watch this, probably. But
Sit your kids down to watch it with you. Be like, you would not. This is the greatest movie.
So it was like a 1986 movie, and we rented it all the time because it was all about BMX bikes, and they did backflips, and like that was the big deal. Like in this movie, like the dude finally does a backflip on a bike.
Yeah.
Well, they're doing like double backflips and front flips and all kinds of crazy stuff on them now, but.
Yeah.
That was the big deal. He just wanted to do a backflip. And
Landed it,
And
huh?
at the end of the movie, he finally sticks a backflip, and that was like the big, yeah, that was the finale. But so they never released it on DVD.
Yeah.
Can't imagine why.
It's a straight up bootleg VHS copy that I bought on eBay for $7.
Nice.
And it's the crappiest case, and it looks like they
It's awful.
It looks like they scanned this off of like an old magazine or something and slapped it in this. And it really looks used, and it probably is, and it probably doesn't even play, but I own it, and
It doesn't matter. You were so excited coming in here. It doesn't matter if it ever plays at all.
And I hope, please, somebody tell me they've seen that, and please comment so that Kyle can tell me that you've seen this.
Well, to be sure, Chase, you may want to check that video before you have
think-
anybody else watch.
This is a very good point. This is a very, very
What
good
if it's
point.
the video from The Ring?
Don't
And-
know.
Ooh.
Ooh, I have seen that movie.
And you get yourself 7 days.
I watched that movie.
You'll at least get one more podcast in.
by myself at home by myself, and it was dark, and I'm not big on scary movies.
I hate them.
My
I
wife
absolutely hate them.
my wife came walking in the door, and no joke, y'all, I am wadded up on the couch, and I'm completely covered with pillows and covers, and all I've got are barely my eyes showing, and I don't even want to look at the TV. I'm just like kind of every now and then I peek out from behind this pillow to see what's going on, but I couldn't quit watching it. Oh, but when she crawled through that TV at the end,
I've got a funny story about that.
All I can picture is Chase. You know how she has all the hair dangling down where you can't see her face? Like, it's Chase crawling through the TV, but his beard is all wet around his face.
So they have a new one out, by the way, if you want to get back into that game. They
Called
have-
Rings,
Called
isn't it?
Rings. My wife forced me to watch it the other night. And I don't
Is
I
it
don't
on YouTube
ever,
now?
I don't know if it's on YouTube.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
We rented it.
no,
from-
not the actual movie, but like the movie in the movie.
Ooh, I don't know, probably.
So
But-
you wipe out a lot of people. You can have a
Population
busy night,
control, yeah.
lady.
But anyway, so the first Ring, anyway, we watched the other one the other night, and I hated it too. It wasn't super scary. It was kind of dumb, but
I bet the other one would be dumb if you went back and watched it now.
so yeah, probably. I was 16 when I watched it, and my best friend at the time had just got his driver's license, and so we cruised down to Fossil Creek, which is where it was all happening back in 2003.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
And we went in there and we watched The Ring, and we sat in front of a row of African American ladies, and
He's behind the door.
that's exactly the stereotype holds up, because when they made little comments through the whole movie, but like you say, when she crawled out of the TV, these ladies.
I can hear him. Oh, hell no.
This girl just crawled out the TV. Oh, and I was dying. I didn't even care about the scary movie anymore. I was dying. I was rolling around in sticky popcorn floors. Oh, it was so funny.
We watched the Blair Witch Project like that one time.
See, I didn't think it was scary at all.
Well, back then it might have been a little more, but I remember it was a similar deal to that. We had some folks sitting in front of us, and they like to comment on it, but
I make it a point to sit in
that
front
was
of them now.
such a bad movie that it made it so much better.
If
That
you're
was-
African American in a movie theater, I will hunt you down and sit right in front of you. I will leave my wife and kids. If there's one seat, I'm
stay
in
down
it.
here. Stay down here.
Find your own seat.
So I got some trivia for y'all.
I'm ready.
I got some trivia, Memorial Day trivia.
Oh, good.
I got all kinds of cool stuff over here. So
We got about 20 minutes left.
all right. Well, first off, just want to say thank you to all the men and women that have served and sacrificed
Are
this-
serving, yeah.
Absolutely.
for this awesome country that we get to live in.
That's
Go.
getting slightly better by the day.
Yeah, go Trump.
Yes.
So,
He's making America great again, but somehow my tax values went up.
well, that didn't have
I
anything
have
to do with
some. I
him.
have some questions.
So, how many presidents do you guys think have served in the military?
Ooh, in any military, any branch?
We're gonna price this right,
it's-
right?
And yeah, we can do that. We can do that. I like Trump, but I almost think this should be a prerequisite.
I can.
I think it's one of those deals where if you're going to be in command of the world's greatest country
And greatest
and the
military.
greatest military, that you should have some military backing.
Okay.
Anyway,
I
if
think he
if
went-
anybody's listening, let's make that a prerequisite, because that'll nix Hillary. We won't have to worry about her or Michelle in the next election.
Well,
Yeah.
or a lot of other Democrats for that. So
When he
anyway.
was young, I think he went to a military academy.
perfect, it's even better.
Trump did?
Yes, I remember
Okay.
seeing some interview where one of the other guys that was in the academy with him said, you know, he's a good guy. He's a very honest guy.
But then he said,
They're very dishonest people.
Is he saying that about the people who said that about him?
yeah, I don't know. So, we're Price is Right in this thing.
Yeah.
So-
how many U.S. presidents have served in the military?
We're gonna go clockwise.
Sure.
I'm gonna say 33.
Ooh, 34.
Oh, you suckers. Gary knows them all by name. Knows their
He
social.
probably
I'm gonna-
does.
I'm-
Probably does.
I'm going to go with 29.
Gary wins. Y'all went over.
Whoa.
32. You missed it by one.
Dude.
32.
I hate Price is Right rules. By every other standard trivia rules, I win.
Well, I could actually name more of the ones that weren't because they were. It's a shorter list.
Yeah. Well, obviously, yeah.
All the early ones did, and you know, you go back through recent lists. The Bush Senior was a World War II pilot.
That president from Independence Day, he was a pilot.
This is true.
And of
Welcome
course,
to Earth.
Kennedy was in the Navy. Eisenhower was a general. I mean, you know, it was.
It
was
feels like
pretty
we went
easy.
through. Yeah, and that's where my 33 came from because I was thinking up to like 70s. Now there were a few sprinkled in there that weren't, but I was thinking up to that point we were.
Right.
It was pretty steady military folks.
Yeah. Well, and it
Nixon,
should be. It
Carter,
should
and Reagan. I don't think any of them were.
Lyndon B.
be. No,
Did Lyndon-
Reagan was an actor.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Lyndon B.
Nixon.
Right. I don't think Nixon was in, but Eisenhower. Yeah, he was all in.
Old Dwight. What's
So-
the next question?
All right. So, in 1986, the
33.
Come on.
34.
The U.S. Navy stated that the number of young men who wanted to become naval aviators went up by 500%. What movie spiked this
Top
increase?
Gun.
Boom, there it is.
Yeah.
Y'all don't even have to worry about
that
it.
was way too easy.
It was either that or Iron Eagle. Have y'all ever seen Iron Eagle?
It wasn't Iron Eagle.
It wasn't our Eagle Cop. Have you seen that?
The first one was good. The last 7 were terrible.
The last 7.
Okay. I don't really
They did
know.
make a bunch of them. That's a trivia question. How many Iron Eagle movies did they make?
And I'm going to try to make this into a question because it's more of a.
Statement.
Yeah, I can't really make this into a question. I'll just give y'all this one. No, I got it. So, when did the Aviator first make an appearance? The Aviator sunglasses.
Ooh.
Price is Right rules.
Oh.
1968.
Okay.
I wanna
No,
say-
just none.
I'm going to say 58.
We got Gary.
1950.
Everybody went over.
Real over.
Earlier.
1929.
Whoa.
Good grief.
Really?
Yes.
Rocking them old.
People
Yes.
were cool back then.
In 1929, U.S. Army Air Corps Lieutenant General John McCready asked Bausch & Lomb,
Oh, McCready, yeah.
a New York-based medical equipment manufacturer, to create aviation sunglasses that would ban sun rays and reduce the headaches and nausea.
Hold on. Like
Ex-
Ray-Ban?
This is how the company Ray-Ban got its name.
So crazy.
How about that?
Wow.
I love
about that?
useless knowledge. It's my favorite kind. It's the only kind I have, really.
No, I was actually thinking about the time that all of those test pilots were testing the X-1, like John Glenn.
Well, that's when
All
Chuck Yeager was
Yeah,
out.
Chuck
doing,
Yeager.
yeah,
all the
that's-
guys that were
that's what I
later
was thinking of.
astronauts were testing jets out back, in 1949, 1950.
Yeah.
And that's what I was thinking of, man. If there was ever a cool time to be a pilot, it would have been right then.
Okay, I got one depressing one and then one funny one.
Okay, let's do it.
So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do the depressing question, then we'll go
Of
back
course.
to the funny question. So,
Favorite.
out of all the wars that U.S. has been involved in, which war did the most American soldiers die in?
Civil War.
What do you got, Colt?
It's either that or World War II.
Yeah, I'm just gonna guess World War II. I want to say that Kyle's right, but I don't know.
Well, since those are already taken,
It's what you get for being at the end of the table.
Yes.
Sorry, bro.
You can take one of them.
Desert
well,
Storm.
I would say World War II.
Civil War.
Come
World
on.
War-
Because everybody involved was American. Come on,
Yeah,
guys.
World War II was number
Come
2.
on.
According to this, and this is
I rigged
PBS.
that.
According to PBS, there were 498,000 casualties in the Civil War and 405,000 in World War II.
We were too busy spanking ass in World War II. Everybody that died.
Well,
in,
It says the total number of Americans killed in all U.S. wars is more than 1.1 million.
that's a lot. But we've
So-
been in a lot of wars.
Well,
We have.
the thing is this, though, your casualty rates for various things in World War II were way higher.
I'm confused.
Hitler killed 8 million Jews. Stalin killed 50
Oh, more
million.
people died. Period. Absolutely. But
Yeah.
American people.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
It-
was
I
just
thought-
this
You
was
have
just
to go.
Americans.
You have to go with the war that
Right.
Americans
right.
were fighting themselves
But
because
they
everybody
just-
that hit the ground was an American.
They had some staggering
And
numbers.
they probably didn't even consider a lot of those Americans.
Right.
What?
Yeah, in the Civil War,
Because slavery. Yeah.
slavery, and because there were slaves fighting in the Civil War, and they probably didn't consider them Americans.
Well,
They
were.
didn't even consider them to be really people. So
Well,
But-
you in a sense you're correct. It's one of the reasons why the statute was written the way it is about if you are born here. They've got what they call the anchor baby clause.
Yeah, yeah.
That actually comes from this a statute that was written so that the slaves couldn't be excluded from citizenship.
Gotcha.
But
That makes sense.
all right, so here's the last one.
This is a funny one.
Save the good one. Yep.
So far, if we're keeping score so far,
Y'all are all losing.
okay.
Colt's losing.
Yeah.
I think Carrie and Kyle are y'all tied?
I think we have one each.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so
This is a tiebreaker, or Colt can make it a three-way tie.
there you go. And I don't think anybody's going to get this because this is a little tricky. Military Standard Issue Parachute Pack Survival Kit, SRU-16, contains what unique item?
Can we answer Jeopardy style? Is this still
It unique non.
what is a tampon?
I'm gonna say Tabasco sauce.
AR-7.
So, if I had to say, Kyle got the closest, but I guess we can give it to him. It contains a non-lubricated condom.
To store
The
your
best
goods.
kind.
Water.
It says, apart from its primary function, it can also serve as a container capable of holding up to 1 liter of water.
Yeah.
So it's a water balloon.
I was thinking tampon for wound control.
Yeah, that too, yeah. So anyway, yeah. SRU-16 Military Standard Issue Parachute Pack contains a
You
non-lubricated
think they
condom.
tossed it to him with like an elbow, like, hey, it's got a little something special in there for you.
Well, the reason I chose that, answer was because the AR-7 was Eugene Stoner's kit rifle for the survival kit in a bunch of planes. I don't, evidently wasn't that designation, but it was. That's where it came from.
So to the people in the room who don't play with guns, an AR-7 is some type of weaponry?
It's a 22 that breaks down and stores entirely in the stock.
It's a breakdown.
okay.
Ammunition and all, and it floats on the water.
Gotcha.
And it's really light, and they used to, they stuck it like on the ejection seat. So when you ejected, when you got to the ground, you had this thing.
Gotcha.
You know.
So after they realized they couldn't kill anybody with a non-lubricated condom, they decided to go another route. We better give these guys a gun.
All the guys are having water balloon fights out there with their military-issued, non-lubricated condoms.
We've had 9 paratroopers die trying to get that condom open on the way down. We better give them a gun.
Yeah, and I'm afraid the gasoline would eat through it if you tried to tried to weaponize it.
Yeah, it's tough to Molotov a rubber.
You gotta do it quick.
I need a "that's what she said" button.
So
That's funny. No, that's awesome. I love that. What else is going on? Anybody got anything else?
Well, there was the matter of something
Manchester.
about a yes.
Let's talk about that.
Yes, condolences to the folks in Manchester, but how long are we going to let this go on?
It's a good question.
well,
Till it comes to a good concert.
You ain't gonna blow up Skinner. That's all I'm saying.
That's when we'll put our foot down.
oh, that's rough.
Yeah,
I feel bad for laughing.
Well, it's pretty
It's-
disgusting,
It's
going
it's
after
just
the little girls.
Yeah, and the people they were there. The what's the lady's name they were there to see?
Ariana
Grande.
Yeah.
It's the
You know,
drink
she's
from
a-
Starbucks.
She's the one that wiped her butt with the American flag and said, "This is not my America."
Oh, of course.
And, yeah, and so
She from Denton.
she's from the California equivalent.
Hashtag not my president.
But anyway, I feel like, you have a choice when you're in that kind of role as a
Absolutely, yeah.
world renowned musician, and if your choice is to be, I don't feel like there's room for a stance in your line of work. I feel like the whole point is to sell records, and you want to sell records to anybody that'll buy one. And so, if you're making a stance, what you do is make yourself a spectacle and a target for people that disagree with your stance.
Musicians and actors are notorious for not doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're
Yeah.
easy to find because you can find your tour schedule right there on the interwebs.
Sure.
But does this? It's a woman.
It's a girl. I don't
Girl.
even know how old she is. She's.
Have they
don't
sung
know.
anything that I've heard?
Nothing that we would probably know.
Oh, yeah, I
of,
don't
you
know any.
I wouldn't know it.
Okay.
I wouldn't know it at all.
But
The only time I ever say grande is when they ask me how big I want my tacos.
exactly.
Or Barbara Grande.
Ooh, Barbara Grande. Yeah, that's new.
But that's
They
what
call
an
me
open
Gordo. Is
borders
that-
policy, and that whole left agenda will get you a society like that.
Yeah.
I'm over it. I know what I would do, but
At some point as a country, we gotta. So, looking back on all the successful years of America, Christianity and the Bible were always included,
Yes.
and a foundation. And so,
Amen.
at some point, we've got to look back that way. As a not as individual. I'm not calling anybody out individually, but as a country, be like, retrospectively say, what was going on back then?
Well, okay.
That-
Go ahead. Finish that.
No, that's it. I end on prepositions.
No. Well, even
preposition
if you don't believe in my God, the morals in that book and the values in that book could do great things regardless.
You bet.
Well, and
So,
there-
so you don't
Even the atheists say it's a good guide for how to be a good human
Yes,
being. Even the people that
absolutely.
don't believe it's about a God, they say, well, you can do a pretty good job by your brother if you follow this.
Absolutely. I mean, you go and you look at the commandments.
Doesn't do
you
a
know,
whole lot for your eternity, just living that way.
But I mean, it's a good start.
Yeah,
We can start there. Baby steps.
I always love I don't remember what it's from, but he comes down and he has the 2 stone tablets. He's like, "Behold, the 20 commandments." And he drops one and it breaks. He's like, "The 10 commandments." I think of that every time I hear
that
someone
was
say
the Monty
commandments.
Python.
So
version.
I think so.
I have this legitimate thought about Old Testament Bible, stuff back in the BC days. I wonder if there was anybody like me back then that was just kind of silly about things, and you don't read about any of those people because they didn't do anything great enough to make the book, much like I won't. But
they just didn't make it in general, probably.
I mean, they were about cutting some people's heads off and stuff back then. But you ever wonder, like, if the 4 of us got shipped back to the Future style to BC times, like, would we find anybody that we could be like, heh, that's what she said?
They'd be like, "Who said?"
That
Yeah.
that hath what she hath said.
I think about that stuff all the time because I don't know if it's evolving or devolving, but I just wonder if I could run into somebody that just, you could just elbow and be like, right, Israelis, right?
I'm,
right.
I'm pretty sure you would be on your way to meet your maker in a hurry.
You're probably right. It makes me laugh to think about it. It's funny in my head to just be at these big, where they're tossing people in the pits to burn for sacrifice, and you're just like, man, she was hot after all, huh? Yeah, under all that. But I don't know. It's just stupid. You all know how my brain works, and it's just one of the stupid thoughts I have. But anyway, back to the original point. Even if we just look at it as a basic guidelines of how to be a decent human
Absolutely.
being to the decent human being next to you,
It could do a lot.
that's
It could do a lot.
that-
Even if you just took the golden rule,
Yes.
yeah.
do
No, that's
unto others.
yeah.
I mean, that's you could. You want
Except
them to,
some
you,
of them, they blow themselves up. So I'm gonna
not
leave that
doing
one
that.
out for you.
I'm not doing that. That's all you, Bubba. Yeah.
Well, that devolves, into do unto others before they do unto
So
you.
do you think
there you go.
as a human race that we peaked at some, because back then we were riding camels around, and so here we are. We've got spaceship cars now that can recognize your voice and give you directions.
I'm pretty sure
Did we peak, and are we on the downhill side of this thing?
I'm gonna say we peaked right before they ate that apple.
Oh wow!
So
Yeah,
way
you're
back.
taking it back. Well, it's been a
That's
slow
way-
slide down. Okay.
way
Okay.
back there, yeah.
I don't know, because if it was perfect up until that point, right?
Well, I mean, as sinners, as humans,
That that was the.
I feel like is it in my brain? I feel like Kennedy gets shot, and then it just all starts just.
no, no, it was bad way before then.
Oh, okay. I haven't been
man on
alive
the
that long,
green.
Chase.
Well, something I've always believed.
Are you talking about in your lifetime when it started getting bad?
Oh, I know it's devolved in my life.
Oh, okay.
We used to have corded phones and controlled time limits, and now it's just wheels off. You can
Well, and
girls
you know,
sending nudie pictures to their boyfriends, and
that's the thing about this is that all of the technology that's come from Western society is being used against it
everywhere else.
to bring Islam to everywhere else.
Yeah.
I think I'm kind of with Chase. I don't think the human race has ever just been all that great.
I can't argue. I have nothing to argue against.
Yeah,
There's so many good people in this world, but we're being overrun by the ones that are just not so good.
They breed faster.
They do.
We can't keep up.
They have 3 wives and 20 kids.
So I mean, you've all sat in rooms or meetings or whatever, and, you know, if you're in a room with 30, 40 people, there's a couple of them in there that you don't like and nobody else likes. And I feel like that couple of people has grown to be like, maybe it's just me getting old and cranky, but
Or maybe
but I
people
feel
at
like
work just don't like you anymore.
I feel like that one or two has. Oh, not in my work. I love everybody at my work.
Oh,
That does come with age, I think.
Hashtag
For
bonus
sure.
time.
sure.
Hashtag what?
You'll be sitting out on your front lawn. Stay off of the lawn.
You kids, pull your pants up.
Pull up your romper.
Back in my day,
Pull up your romper. What do you do
pick
today?
a gender, you fool. What is going to be the hot button topics when we get old?
Well, so-
it's not just stay off my property. Now we got all kinds of things.
What's funny
You
is
pee in your own bathroom.
how about how about whenever, you know, the big deal was kids wearing baggy jeans.
Yeah.
Now they're wearing skinny jeans, and so now we're gonna be like, man, why don't you kids get some baggy jeans?
The
you know?
pendulum swung from one end all the way to the other.
If we only knew how good we had it.
Bring back those Jinkos. Let's get those back in here.
Those were way too much, dude.
Hey, I rocked a pair of Jinkos. I bought them at Ross, and they had one seam down the side of the right leg
Jeez.
that made it down the.
It like curved around the
Oh yeah,
so
like
it
a
was
crappy
always,
crappy T-shirt that you get
that's
where they
what-
run.
That's
yeah.
all. That's
That
all
was
that you sell at Ross is what they
back-
call seconds. I guess everything that's got
yeah.
stitches out or the wording's not perfectly centered on the front.
Oh,
it's
I
all
thought they were doing it on purpose.
no, it's all it's
Oh.
all seconds.
I was thinking that was in that rad video days.
Probably.
I'm gonna let you borrow that Colt right after I screen it.
Okay.
Make sure it's appropriate for
We
you.
need to have
Alright.
we need to have a podcast movie review session in here
I've been
watching Rad.
mentioning that for a little while.
He has been. We need to get our TV hung up.
What you
and
mean
have a-
doing like an open commentary?
Yeah.
Well, here's what I
like
was
Mystery
thinking.
Science Theater with
Yeah,
that with
maybe-
Rad running in the background.
Maybe people could chime in and see if they like the idea. But you could pick a movie that we all kind of want to watch, or maybe half of us have seen, half haven't, and maybe one that's on Netflix, so it's like ready
Like
for
Stand By Me.
anybody to watch, you know, at any time. And then whenever we're about to start the deal, you can hit play on the podcast and play on your TV, and you can kind of watch as we
there you
commentate
go.
over the deal. Is what
Yeah,
I
like
was
Genius.
director's commentary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Y'all
But
remember
with
that
the
show
Wise Man
Mystery
Crew?
Science Theater? Y'all
Yeah.
remember Mystery
Oh,
Science
yeah,
Theater?
Yeah.
No.
You don't? Oh, that was great.
They're funny. It's kind of exactly like what we'd be doing.
It's like
you know,
three little just it's a robot and a dude and a
Yeah.
moose. And they
You look at Jason's face.
and they sit and give commentary
And
over
y'all
these
are making
old,
fun of me about Rad. Okay.
you would love Mystery Science Theater. It's so funny.
I mean, this
Yeah.
has got Aunt Becky from Full House.
well, that gives it some points.
And I'm sorry, but she's good looking.
she
And
was
that is
absolutely
as
yeah.
far as her career went, from Full House to Rad.
Yeah,
Actually, I think Rad was before Full House.
Oh, okay, there
that's
you go.
where she got her big break in
That's where she
Rad.
busted loose, yeah. Yeah, it's funny, though, because she's like 15 years old in this movie, and Full House came out like 2 years later, and she's married to Uncle Jesse.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
all of a sudden she's 40. Yeah. It doesn't have to make sense in Hollywood.
Nah.
But anyway, what was that? Oh, Mystery Science Theater. Yeah, you'd love. It's just three dudes basically,
That'd be cool.
and they're just giving commentary over these old black and white sci-fi movies, and it's so funny because they're so cheesy and just weird. You know, these old like
Yeah, cheesy and weird, like
Just-
this movie I'm going to watch.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much like Rad. Yeah,
But yeah, it's some old sci-fi movies where it's just real. All the acting's bad, all the effects are
Gotcha.
bad. But
no,
yeah,
that's
that
great.
could be cool.
So I'm gonna play a little tune here, or maybe Chase should play it,
What am
so
I
that it
playing?
doesn't mess up my thing here.
Tell me what to go after. I'll find it.
We're looking for Ray Charles,
Okay.
and we're looking for the greatest patriotic song ever recorded,
I'll second that motion.
Gotcha.
and we're gonna jam it out in here, and we're gonna listen to the whole thing, and we're just gonna share Memorial Day thoughts.
I think I got it.
Are we all right to listen to the whole thing?
Oh yeah,
It's Ray Charles.
it's Ray Charles.
Playing
He
America the
didn't write it
Beautiful.
either.
Yeah. And we're honoring America. They shouldn't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
If you copyright strike us,
You can sue my good friend George Washington if you don't like it. But anyway, here we are, Memorial Day weekend 2017. We can't thank the people enough that that wake up every morning and strap their boots on and go out to fight the good fight.
Yep,
You
keep
don't
it
want me to be the troops. I'd be terrible troops. If every twig I stepped on, I'd be shooting at something. I love living life and I
Don't
will
step
I
on
will
any snakes,
just
man.
it'd be off the rails. But so I just want to express my sincere thank you to those that do, such as Colt here. Colt's a vet of the United States Army.
well, thank you.
If I don't know if Chase knew that or not, but he was.
I didn't know that.
He's a ex-military turned electrical salesman, like all the stories.
Like, you've heard that same old story all the time.
over and over again. But we appreciate you and all others like you. We have lots of friends that are in the military, still currently serving. Casey, if you listen to this, Jordan, Tyler McNair.
Yeah, Tyler.
I don't know many others. I said lots of friends. Maybe I didn't mean lots. Maybe just a few. Had a few friends. They're all still with it. Haven't lost any due to it, and I'm thankful for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But Ray Charles fixing to break it down. I'm gonna get a little quiet here. Just reflect on the loss. Remember those.
And never forget the Sandlot.
Never forget.
Yeah.
We got to play one night game a year.
Did he was he playing that in Sandlot?
Yeah.
Was it him?
When the fireworks are going off and they're playing it.
It's a great movie.
I think of Sandlot every time I hear this song, and I love it.
Baseball and hot dogs.
That's
Slow
right.
motion,
Chaw.
Yeah.
hitting the ball, and yeah.
They just quit playing and they just start staring at the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go home and watch that.
Me too.
Well, it won't be long. We'll bust this back out for the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be here
He's
for a
talking
while.
about America. All right, let's sing this last verse together. Y'all ready?
No, I don't sing.
Everybody's stopping it before that happens.
Y'all make sure you take some time, whether it's you listen to this after Memorial Day weekend's over with, and if you see a man in uniform walking into the Chili's, hold the door for him. Tell him thank you.
How about you buy his lunch? Buy his dinner.
And if you see
I
a
think
podcast
Chili's-
host walking in too, buy his
Yeah.
dinner too.
Chili's, I think they give them a free
Awesome.
meal on. It's either Memorial Day or Veterans Day. They get free meal.
It's awesome.
That is a
Shout
good
out to
thing.
Chili's.
Yeah, shout out Chili's. We'd love for you to sponsor the show too. Send some skillet queso and some chips this way.
Oh, that's all we need.
Come on.
So, how about a wise man quote?
Yeah, bring it on, man.
Go ahead and get that out of the way. We got about a minute left, so.
Okay.
So, I feel like this is pretty fitting. So, our wise man quote for the day: greater love has no one than this, that he lay down his life for his friends. That's out of that good book we were talking about earlier, John 15:13.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yes.
We're gonna let Ray take us on out here. All right, folks. Happy Memorial Day weekend. We hope you all stay safe.
Thanks for
Or
spending
stay
it with
safe,
us.
depending on when you listen to this. One of these days, we'll get smart enough to shoot this stuff live, and we'll do it that way. But anyway, have a good week, guys. We'll see you on the next trip.
Stay classy, Rice County.
Amen.